Welcome back to the channel. It's me. And while 2024 is not yet over, we already know that this year is going to end up being one of the worst years for DC Comics since the New 52. That S saying a lot because the New 52 is pretty bad. But hey, I guess if you like rebooting your characters every few years and completely removing all of their history, then yeah, 2024 might just be better than the New 52. Because when it comes to total stupidity, it's hard to top DC completely forgetting that Batman had red hair at one point. Or how Green Lantern once used his ring to turn his giant space whale into a baby. Actually, wait, those are both from 2023. So, I guess we have to talk about what 2024 gave us instead. I know I said I would undo this video until the end of the year, so I could look back at all the DC comics that came out. But that's really hard to wait when we've already seen enough horrible DC plots this year to fill an entire video. So today, I'm gonna tell you the best DC storylines of 2024 and why they still kinda suck. Starting off our list is Future State, which actually started at the end of 2023. This was supposed to be DC's big event, where we saw what the DCU would look like in the future, and apparently that meant making every hero, except for Batman, wear gray or green and kill everyone. As soon as this miniseries began, we got Batman punching people to death, and Damian Wayne being too evil for the Dark Knight mantle. There's also the fact that Superman's dead, and Wonder Woman's leading some Amazonian cult now. Basically, Future State was the what if the Justice League became evil story, and somehow that made us want to see the future even less. Luckily, we won't have to worry about any of this evil future happening anytime soon. Because in the present day, Batman doesn't have any hair. But that's only because he shaved it all off after seeing what happened in the future. Yep, Future State was also responsible for the great Batman head shave of 2023. Next is the death of the Justice League. When DC announced this event, fans were hopeful. Finally, a new storyline that didn't involve time travel or rebooting everything. Death of the Justice League promised to shake things up and show us what a world without the Justice League would look like. The only problem was DC already did this with Justice League. The New Frontier. But no one remembers that comic or the animated movie based on it, because it came out before anyone on Earth was born. We haven't even gotten to the stupid parts yet. One of the main selling points of this event was that it would show us a villain who could defeat the Justice League. You know, finally, we'd get to see a villain who's powerful enough to take on DC's heroes. Too bad! That villain turned out to be none other than Wonder Woman. And, yeah, her reason for attacking the Justice League is definitely something that makes sense. Wait, no. It definitely does not make sense at all, and it's definitely not the plot to a 90s Power Rangers episode. What was I talking about? But this event wasn't all bad news. We did get a new leader of the Justice League, and yes, that person is Booster Gold. Oh my god. The most qualified person to be a superhero ever. But if you think Booster Gold can't get any cooler, just wait until you hear about the next entry on our list. Now, before we get to our number one pick, let's go ahead and honor the runner-up for most stupid plot of the year. And this year, there are two storylines that are neck and neck for the title. We have Dark Crisis, which featured a supervillain team called the Deadly Eight, which included the Joker, Deathstroke, Gorilla Grodd, Black Adam, Scarecrow, Cheetah, Poison Ivy, and Darkseid. Great cast of villains! Right? Yeah, especially since all of them were brought together to fight the Justice League, which was missing half of its members because they were sent to Spidey Heaven. But here's the thing. Dark Crisis had potential. Like, the idea of the Justice League having to come back from heaven to save the world is pretty cool. The issue is that DC spent like 6 months building up to that, but then the payoff was us just getting more continuity errors and characters who were written out of the story just randomly showing up again. Not to mention, we also got a new Legion of Doom, which has now been replaced by the Justice Doom, or I don't know, maybe that'll be better. I don't know. All I know is that I didn't ask for Bane to become Mr. McSist Eck all of a sudden. But what could possibly be worse than a bunch of random villains teaming up to fight a weakened Justice League? How about Batman becoming the Flash? Well, technically he didn't become the Flash, but he sure acted like him in Dark Detective. After losing his powers in Dark Detective, Batman decided to train harder, and then he eventually got his powers back. But not before he used his detective skills to uncover the secrets of the Speed Force. You know, just because he can't move fast doesn't mean he can't learn about moving fast. No, he doesn't learn how to control lightning or anything. Instead, he spends the whole comic crying about how much he wants to be the Flash, and when he finally gains his powers back, he uses them to punch people even harder. Yippee! I really can't believe we paid money for this. So the runner-up for stupidest plotline of the year goes to Dark Detective. But you know what? Screw it! Let's just combine all these and call it a tie. But now it's time for the one storyline that topped them all. And honestly, it's hard to pick just one. We could talk about how Batman lost his memory, which led him to believing he was Bruce Wayne. Or how Catwoman left Batman and became a nun. But there's one moment in DC Comics that tops them all. One panel that encompasses everything wrong with DC Comics in 2024 and earlier, in June 2024. DC released Action Comics number 1057. This comic features a story called The Clown at Midnight. It's part of the larger storyline called The War of the Gods. And to be honest, I probably should just start the video there. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, because it gets way dumber. The War of the Gods is a storyline where the Olympian gods, including Zeus, are fighting against the new gods of the Source Wall. You know, just another battle between two groups of gods that DC created, so they could have an excuse to write female characters as property. Anyway, the god King Zeus is about to finish off the hero known as Highfather, but Highfather plays one last card. He reveals that he has Batman's soul and threatens to send Batman to hell unless Zeus stops fighting. At this point, you're probably thinking, whoa, hold on, what? Why does Batman have a soul? Isn't he just a guy with a really advanced understanding of science and technology? What does he have a soul for? And why does Highfather have that soul? Well, the answer to that question can be found in the depths of hell, but thankfully we don't have to go there to find out. Instead, we can just read this comic. And according to Highfather, Batman got a soul because someone ripped out his heart and threw it in a volcano. Then a demon picked that heart up and threw it into a cauldron. Then the demon stirred the cauldron and Batman got a soul. Yep, that makes sense. Totally normal. Everyday Batman backstory. This isn't like the 50th time we've heard about Batman getting his heart ripped out or anything. And I'm sure he'll never need that soul in the future. Oh wait, never mind. He totally will. This is an important detail. Mark it with a red marker. Maybe put a little star next to it. Oh, it's gone. It's too late. I can't remember anything anymore. I'm old, I forgot how to use a computer. Send help! So there you have it, folks. Those were the best storylines from DC in 2024. I mean, you can go ahead and buy them if you want. I'm not gonna stop you. But I also won't be surprised if you don't want to waste your money. Oh, and if you want to hear about some DC projects coming up that are UNT complete pieces of garbage, click this link right here. It's a video I made about the upcoming season of Doom Patrol. And yeah, it's a good video. Click it. Click it now. Bye.